Hi, everybody. This is Sydney Blanchard, and welcome to my podcast. I'm really excited to share with you what Team Fearless is all about, and then share with you my fearless story, and hopefully have you guys share your story with me. So first of all, I am a 3-time National Finals Rodeo qualifier, Rookie of the Year, PRCA, and Collegiate World Champion, but I did not do it alone. So that is how I created Team Fearless, to include everyone, human and equine, on my journey to success. So Team Fearless has now expanded into a group of girls that I have the privilege of helping, and obviously I'm available to them 24/7 pretty much to help them with their success. And these young ladies are absolutely phenomenal, and they also pay it forward and help others on their journey to success. So in order to be on Team Fearless, you do not have to do anything for me. I just want you to help others and post your story on how you help them on Facebook, and of course hashtag Team Fearless, so I can see what everybody is doing and how the pay it forward is going. Super exciting. So now I just want to tell you a little bit about what being fearless means to me. So my story starts in 2010 when I was bucked off at the college national finals. So it was rainy and it was cold and my horse hadn't been ridden and I had the flu, and I decided to ride in my rain boots because I was being lazy. And I got on my horse in rain boots, and I thought I would teach her a lesson and make her, just lope it out of her basically, because she was fresh. And of course she started bucking, which I initially got her pulled up, and then the minute I gave her the reins back to start loping again, she started bucking again and bucked me off. I hit my head and landed on my hip, and I had a concussion, and when I came to, the ambulance was there. And to make it funny, actually, was I was being strapped onto the board, and I remember this. And I just remember seeing the walkie-talkie in the firefighter's jacket, and it was inching its way out of its jacket, and I was strapped down to the board, and I wasn't able to communicate, but I just watched this walkie-talkie drop out of his jacket and land on my nose and break it. And so that was just to, top it all off. And next thing I remember, I woke up in the hospital. My coach for my college, CJ Aragon, was there. And I know that different people kind of came in and out. And of course, I was sick and throwing up, not feeling well, and really should not have competed the next morning. But the next morning when I woke up in my trailer, my friend Natalie, who was there, and my boyfriend at the time, asked me if I wanted to compete that morning. And so I got up, and I had some broken fingers, and I, kind of moved around. My hip hurt, my back hurt, everything hurt. But I decided, let's go ahead and do it. So, Natalie was out of the trailer like a pit crew. And she went and she grabbed shotgun. We had to load him up and haul to the Coliseum, because where they stall us is at a different location in Casper. So she loaded him up, we hauled butt, I got dressed in the trailer, got outside, she had saddled my horse, the boots were on him, I loped from my trailer to the Coliseum, and it was 9 girls. So they started, I think at 8, maybe 7 in the morning, and I was 9th out. So there's 9 girls in front of me, and they were on 5. So I did a couple rollbacks, And I know I couldn't grasp the horn the way I needed to because I had a couple fingers that were broken. And of course it hurt to sit, but we were going to do it. We were going to run. We were going to do it. I knew my horse would take care of me, and I was going to give it all I could because we had worked so hard qualifying for the college national finals, and I did not want it to go to waste. And of course I was at that point in time trying to win our region, which I ended up second, go to school, and as well as pro rodeo and trying to make the NFR all in the same year. So I was very busy, and I had to have a lot of help. A lot of people gave up so much for me to be there, and that really is what made, the decision of competing with a concussion, which I don't recommend to anyone. And but it made it worth it to me because I knew how many people helped me get there and how much we all gave up for us to be there. And so I competed. Shotgun took care of me. We ran around, all 3 barrels, and I came out of the arena and I just went back to the trailer, and I was glad I didn't fall off and hit my head again, of course, because that is the one thing that they tell you is don't hit your head again. You had a significant concussion. And I went back to the trailer. Natalie helped me unsaddle, and I walked back into the Coliseum. There was about 2 girls left to run, looked up at the screen, the leaderboard, and it was my name at the top of the leaderboard. And I could not believe it. I just thought, is that real? Is that, are we winning the first round at the college national finals after everything that had happened this week? And we ended up winning the first round, and it was just unbelievable. And it was all my horse. Shotgun's registered name is Firewater 5. He's by Nonstop Firewater. And he's obviously is just a gift. And, we had gone through so much prior to that point. And long story short, by the end of it, we ended up winning the collegiate national championship. And it was all that horse. So from there on, I started getting some headaches. And of course, the doctors said, well, it's something that comes with concussion and they should subside at some point in time. You're having, migraines from, the trauma to your brain. And so I just went on with it. My neck was sore. I couldn't turn it right and left. But of course, we had the dream of making the national finals and being on a high from, winning the collegiate world championships. I didn't care what hurt. I wanted to run barrels. And so did Shotgun. So I went to Canada from college national finals. My parents drove my other trailer home with my goat tying horse and my other horses that I had there at the college finals. And Natalie and I headed to Canada, where we crossed the border. It was so much fun. We had never been before, and everything was new, and we were on a high, and I legitly didn't care that my head hurt and my body ached because I knew it would go away like it always does. So we went on to just win, all of this money in Canada that counted toward the national finals, and then obviously did well enough throughout the entire year to qualify in the 15th spot, which is always very scary when you're on the bubble because you're so close to grasping everything you've ever worked for and everything you've ever wanted, but not quite sure if you're going to get it. So, from the grace of God, we qualified for the national finals. And I passed all of my classes with the help of my professors, of course, letting me take my tests online. So I qualified for the national finals with the help of so many people. So I'm at the finals and I have these migraines, and another friend of mine, Jamie, was there, and along with my brother, one of my brothers, Levi, and they were there helping and supporting me. The vet I took to the finals was Dr. Paul Jensen, and he was there the whole time to help Shotgun. Shotgun had some injuries that we maintained. And so we were all there, and Jamie would work on me every day. She was a masseuse to help me with the headaches, and we competed, and it was a dream. It was everything that you expect it to be. You go in there and you ride in the grand entry, which was the funnest, most exciting part for me, because if you go watch the National Finals Rodeo, you watch all the contestants come in the arena in the Thomas and Mack behind their state flag, and they wave at the cloud, and we pray together, and we sing the national anthem together, and it's just an absolute serene dream. And we had a blast, and I could not have done it without them. And I always felt guilty because of all the people that it took to help me qualify for the finals. That, were behind the scenes, or just allowing me to overnight at their house, or finding me a vet or a shoer, or, helping me drive, or with the headaches. And there's just so much that goes into qualifying for the national finals, and it's not just you. And there is no way without all of those people, which I could never name them all. I would never have the success that I've had without those people. So I'm constantly at that point trying to figure out a way to include everybody without leaving anyone out. And I knew I wanted some type of team. So I started posting on social media, like things for the team, everybody that helps, on and on. But it just wasn't enough, and I knew I'd never be able to repay those people. So fast forward to Houston. So Houston is in March. It was in 2011. After I qualified for the 2010 NFR, and I'm at Houston, super exciting, one of the biggest rodeos in the world, another high. I go in to run, and of course I had a headache, and my mom was there, thank God, and she, checks my tack and everything when I don't feel well, make sure I didn't miss anything. It's not easy to concentrate and fully do everything that, you're supposed to do to prepare for your run when your head hurts. However, running barrels is my dream. I love the rodeos, and that's what I wanted to do regardless of how I felt. So I go in for my run, and I had failed to notice that my saddle tree was broken. And when my horse sat for his turn around the first barrel, when Shotgun sat for his turn, my saddle slid, and I came down on the back of my saddle, breaking my tailbone, bulging discs in my back, and damaging the nerves around it. So it was very painful. However, I didn't realize how painful it was until I stepped off of my horse. And I was in the alley. I was in the alley at Houston. I pulled my horse up, and before I could even get my horse out of the alley to let the next girl in, I knew I needed off. So I tried to get off. I remember hollering for help, and I remember I think a guy came, the gate man maybe came over and helped me off my horse, and when my feet